Hello, everybody. I just finished watching my friend Ann Lar, and she's doing the very first day of the Creative Reset with Louise. Somebody put a link in when they get here, or I'll go find her. It's a free week with this gal, and she's getting everybody to get their creative juices going. And I haven't watched the original video. I'm just going off what my friend Ann was doing. And I decided I'm going to just make 4 postcards, kind of using the prompts. So the very first thing Ann did and is to grab some black or maybe some of the colors of different things to mark with. So I have a real narrow Sharpie and I have my king size Sharpie because I love this guy for making quick rectangles. And I've got in here my trusty Altoid tin. We all use these. I've got some charcoal and I've got my scribble, what is it? Dina Wakley scribble pens or pencils or crayons. So I want to use the things that will get damaged with anything else first. So I'm just going to make some lines, and you just kind of go all around just making scribbly lines. So you could just do like just to loosen yourself up. So now I've made scribbles with the Sharpie, and I'm going to go ahead and put my Sharpie away because I'm not going to want to use it again. The reason I like the king size, it's got this huge tip, and so we could make maybe something like that here, maybe a square in this one, maybe some circles or parts of circles on this one. Let's do a big triangle on this one. Or you can take it so it's flat and you can just make little rectangles real quick, or various other shapes. My marker has been used so much for so many things that it's not necessarily going to behave like it would if it was brand new out of the package. And don't forget to go off the edge over your tape so that only part of the piece shows. And then when you pull your tape off and you have that crisp line where the tape is, you'll have pieces that look like they went to infinity off the edge. It's always important to remember to go over your tape as well. Don't just stop at the edge. Come across and even maybe slide into the next square a little bit. And the reason I say that is because I really like how it looks when I've done stuff like that, or maybe do like that. So it looks like they're not all there at the same time. All right, so I'm going to put that Sharpie away. And now I'm just going to scribble a little with these scribble sticks because they are water soluble. They will move when I start putting paint on. Hi, Ann. I had so much fun watching you. I had to jump on board. I need to get the link to the gal's channel put in. If somebody can get that for me, that would be great. I can't, it's Louise, but I can't remember her name. And I don't think I'm subscribed to her. So I need a link so I can go back and watch the original play as well. So I'm just going off what Ann did and making some things up as I go along. And I'm only going to do these 4 postcards using only the primary colors because I want to have some playtime with actually mixing the colors. So we're going to just play with these 4. I was going to do a different project, but I was so inspired by Ann. Here we are. So I'm just going to put maybe a little bit of scribble with this black on here and there. And this again will move. And see, I could just do like this and just come on right on down. Maybe do this here. And get real brave and put a lot. So there's some of the black. And now I'm going to do the primary colors. This is supposed to be blue, not green. I need yellow. Red, yellow, blue. That's what we need. Okay, here's some yellow. So maybe I'll put some of this yellow in the middle of this circle on here. Maybe we'll carry in the square bits with some of these. And this will move when I start adding paint. And then this needs to be a triangle. And that will still be a triangle because it'll have its flat edge on it. I'll do some circly circles here, maybe. And a little bit of red. Remember the kid in kindergarten that would like take the crayon and cover the entire page all in the same scribbles? And there's the link if you're interested in more of this. There we go. I got some of that blue everywhere. All right. I do have my paper taped to my craft mat. Oh, and I also have the chalk. Let's just do a little chalky. Little chalky bits. These may be a hot mess, but you know what? We're playing. It's about getting your supplies out and getting reacquainted, really, more than anything. All right, so I've got aluminum foil here, and I'm going to put a blob of red, probably way more than I need, but I wanted to have enough to mix as well. So I'm going to put these down in the order that you normally hear them. So there's red, yellow, and blue. And then I'm only going to put a tiny bit of black because when it comes to using black to change the shade, you don't need much. So I'm only going to put a small dot of black out. And this is another one of those products that I need to use more. It's all starting to go bad, and I need to use this stuff up before I buy anything new. And I'm going to put a little bit extra of the white out than I did black, because to lighten, you'd actually need more white against the colors. And what I thought I would do is I would start by just adding the true color only. So like, let's start with the red, and I've got some water here. And maybe we'll pull this out and let the brush get some water into it. And just add some red on some of these. Maybe come down off that like that. And it's looking pink to me. I don't know if my eyes are messed up or not, but so that's the red. It looks really red. Trying to rinse that red out. Could be interesting. I might end up with a little bit of red in the yellow, so we might end up with some orange right away, but we'll see. So now let's just do some yellow marks. All right. So now we'll pick up some of this blue, and the blue is kind of dodgy, but we'll see. It almost looks like it curdled. That's kind of weird. Why don't we just bring this blue straight down and let it go light like that. It's really dodgy paint. That blue may need to just be used up on something quickly. All right, so now what I might do is, since I got some of that weird blue, we'll pick up some weird blue, bring it over here and mix it with some red and get a purple of sorts. Mix it real good. And now I should have purple. Maybe we'll mix some orange at the top of the screen. Top of the aluminum foil, or as y'all say in the UK, aluminium. Looks like I'm mixing ketchup and mustard up here. All right. So now we got to mix some blue and yellow. I'm trying to rinse this out as good as I can. Some of that nasty blue. Bring that up. We'll grab some yellow. See if we can get a nice green going of sorts. See, that blue is kind of chunky. Get some of this green on here as well. All right, so now let's try adding a little white to some of the different colors, just so we can see all the different colors that you can do. Now, if you mixed some of that green with a little bit more yellow, you would get more of a lime color green. So we could do that. We could mix some of this green, this yellow over into the green we've already mixed up, and we'll get a different green. It'll be more yellowy. More of a yellowy green. I'm getting sidetracked because I'm thinking all the ways you can mix it up. And if you want to understand color and mixing, just get your paints out and play. I mean, there are books that, tell you all the different things. So there's Pam and Dar and Joyce and Ann. And I think that's everybody that's here right now. And Dar, I got your postcard off yesterday in the evening. I took it to the distribution center, and I think the last pull is like at 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. I can't remember, out of the big box out front out at distribution. All right, so if we take just a little bit of red, bring it over here, we'll add some white, and of course you know what we're going to get. We're going to get pink. And we'll add a little pink. Mine are going to be really colorful because I don't know when to quit when I'm playing in colors. All right. So if we add a little white to the yellow, we'll get a real pale yellow, and so on. And when you add black, you want barely a tip of black over into your color. So let's put some of this here. Get some of my, ooh, that was an impressive sling. I'm impressed with myself. That was really good. All right, I'm going to get a little bit of this nasty blue, pick up a little bit of this white that's in a little bit better shape. We'll get a lighter blue. And why, yes, I am trying to cover the whole background. All right, so now we're going to mix a little black in just to see. Hi, Lala. Lala's throwing out some blankets of hellos. Let's put just a dot of black into some red. Let's get a little bit of red, bring it down here, and then just barely tip your paintbrush in because it really doesn't take much. And you can always add more, but you can't take any black back out. The black may be pretty solid like the blue. There we go. Now we're going to get a different color in the red. I think my problem is my black it's not doing too well. Get a little bit of yellow. Put a little bit of black in it. If I can get some black on my brush, it would be great. Now see, that killed the yellow. Oh well. Let's put some of this on here. That's kind of interesting. Now we'll get some of this pulled down here, and I'll try to get some of this nasty black picked up. And we'll do some darker color. And I'll give these postcards away so somebody else can get a chance at some postcards this week. I've been enjoying mailing the postcards out again. All right. So now we've got all this. I'm going to leave just a tiny bit of white showing. And I picked these up at the dollar store. They come in a 3-pack, and you get all 3 of these. And I was just going to maybe wet them a little bit and maybe daub up some of my leftover paint and maybe just put some random business on with these. I'm just going to drop that in there, and I'll just take the whole things to the sink. Let's get some of my bigger ones. Ooh. Here we go. And then we'll do the medium one. I'm wondering if they'll fall apart since I'm letting them soak in water. Let's get some of my nasty blue picked up here. Just trying to pick up the rest of this paint. Now let's smooth out some white. And bloop, 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 bloop. They may or may not look like a hot mess, but it's okay. The important thing is to get back to your inner child and play. I think a lot of times we lose our ability to just play. I would like the small one, and it's gone to the bottom of the thing. Let me see if I can squeeze some of the water out of it. Oh boy, it picked up a lot of red. And I don't think I can get any black with it. They don't hold their circular shape for very long, I'm seeing. But I paid $1.25 for them. I'm not going to complain. All right. So shall we pull the tape off and see what these hot mess of postcards are going to look like? Is Melanie here? Hi, Melanie. So I just did the fatter tape. So on the edge, I left a 1/4 inch, and then I tried to find my halfway point. So I'm hoping I end up with even borders. If I don't, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. And you could come in after the paint dries and add more doodly bits to them if you wanted to. And I could save the tape that's got paint on it too if I wanted to. Okay, come off from here. Now see, I've got quite the border there, a big old fat border. I could always make my postcards slightly smaller. And I could have alleviated that by using some narrower tape, but this is what I had handy. So you know how I am right now, trying to use what I have. I got my guidelines for the video I need to do for Project Dress a Girl. And she said, don't worry about talking about it. Just get them to follow this link. And I'm like, awesome. So all I got to do is tell what I'm doing and then give them the link, which is awesome. Now I could, remember this is not going to be this wide once I cut these. I'm hoping I've left where when this gets cut, there will be just about that much on each side, but we'll see. But I thought these could be fun. The paint palettes look like very colorful male. Yeah, yeah. Could be. And hello, Teresa. Yeah, they are good. I think I just got him too wet, so he was bending to one side or another, but they still make a mark. And, you know, I could have pulled out more of my mark making stuff from my bucket of stuff. I hope everybody has a bucket of stuff that they can make paint marks with. And that yarn that I got last night, Vicky, this is Vicky's fault. She's got me I've started another project. I'm making the crocheted boxy tee, and I'm using some of that Grace yarn that I picked up. And it's done in single crochet. So this bad boy is going to take me a minute. But it'll give me something to do while I'm sitting and waiting for my mother-in-law on Friday while she gets her hair done. So here's my little color play. Woo! And I'm going to maybe move this away and maybe try to dry this a little bit. I've got to plug my thingamabob in. But I could come in and maybe go around the circles with some Sharpie and maybe put a black border on each one. But I probably will make them into postcards once they're totally dry. I am going to dry them a little bit now, but I probably won't add anything because paint is deceptive when you think it's dry and then you use like a Posca pen on it and bam, you've ruined your Posca pen. So sometimes it's important to be patient. Let's see if I can. Oh, I stuck my thumb in black paint. Awesome sauce. Let's see if I can. It would have to be the black paint. Let's see. Whoops, there goes the speaker. Let's see if I can dry it a little bit. And you can just barely see my scribbles from underneath, and I'm okay with that. But you could come back and add more scribbles on top and get even cooler looking things. Jerry Bellini says, don't forget to heat it from the back. I didn't splatter or anything. I'm looking forward to seeing Ann's with the splatters. See the white dots? I could actually turn into like wishing flowers, dandelions with a white Posca pen, which I might do. And just turn these into wishing you happiness cards and mail them out. And I might set these aside and we might do another activity really quick of, Anne splattered gold on hers. You never learned patience? My grandmother used to say, patience is a virtue. You need to learn it. I saw another short and they just put some paint down and kind of swirled it. And then they dipped like deli paper over and over into the pile of paint and then set that aside to dry and made circular flowers with them that you could use later. And I thought, since I've got some red and yellow and blue out, that I might get a piece of wax paper and some deli paper, because I found the deli paper that Lisa sent to me. Awkward Quilter is here. Hello. That's okay. Let me grab a piece of wax paper. Actually, I could probably use my same piece of foil, and I'll do like my sister does with her art kids, because she teaches elementary art and she makes aluminum foil palettes all the time. And what you do is you just fold this in. We'll be working on the shiny side, which the camera may not like, but it'll just have to get over it. And where did that paper go? Lisa Conway sent this paper to me. And let's just get out 2 sheets and we'll make some of these. And the lady short that I watched, she basically just set these aside to dry, came back and just cut around them, and they made the coolest flowers to add to your art journals. So what I watched her do is she just did like a circle. And you could even spread it out more if you wanted to. I'm going to cut one of these in half. I might not use that blue. Well, I don't know. It'd be a good way to use the blue up. We'll cut these in half. Oh, these scissors. Oh, and I broke my kitchen scissors today. I took them out. I was going to deadhead the zinnias, and I guess the stem was really tough, and I was trying to push too hard. Ooh, boy. I made a mess of that. I'd like to spread this around some more. Let me get a different paintbrush. Yeah, like this. And we'll just go around and around and around and around and around. And my drop paper will become part of the palette too here. And then she just took the deli paper and went. And then when you peel it up, see how it makes that? And then you lay this aside to dry, and then you can cut them out later to glue into your art journal. And they do look cool. See if I can get one more. All right. So see, I'm going to set those aside and let them dry. Where can I set these where the cats won't get in them? Good question. There's the yellow ones. And I'm just going to put some red on top of the yellow. This is just all about getting your supplies out and playing. You don't have to worry about everything being perfect or nothing. It's just about playing. So let's leave some space. In there as well. Give us a little bit of shape to our flowers. All right, let's get another piece of the deli paper. I'll set that in there. And they do kind of look like blobs, but I promise you, once they've dried and you cut them out, you can use them in your journals. It's getting kind of blobby in the middle, so we'll just go bloop. I'll set that aside. That'll give me some flowers there. I'm going to take my chances and set them over here. Maybe not. You can always turn these into something else. Hi, Tie-Dye Dawn. We're just making a mess right now. So let's see if I can use up some of this nasty blue. Maybe I'll put some white with it. Come on. That blue just needs to go in the trash. I'm going to try to use it. See how it's chunky? Let's just see what we can do with this piece I've got left here. She made it look so easy. I'm making it look like a hot mess, but it's okay. It's all about the play. It's not about, sometimes it's not about the end result. Sometimes it's about like happy accidents, right? Isn't that what Bob Ross taught us? Happy accidents, because look at this flower here. These two look cool. These look like snowballs, so I can save those for winter time and make snowballs. But that was another way to play with your paint. And I'll leave those to dry, and in a day or so they might be dry. And I'm going to let this palette go now to the great trash. Let's bring our cards back. Let's see if they might be dry enough for me to cut apart. All right, let's see. You're off to the balcony. It's 2:07 now. I'm trying to remember. I have to cut these at 6. I think they're 4.5 by 6 postcards that I mail, because I'm just dividing this piece of paper in half. So there's 6, and then 4.5. And I could make them smaller if I wanted to. So if you would like to win a postcard, we'll put numbers in. I have 4 postcards, so I'll give 4 to 4 people. I usually keep one for myself, but I've just been mailing them out to bring happiness around. So if you would like to win one, just put a number in between 1 and 100, and I'll just type in go. And if you'd like one, if I don't have your email address, I'll try to contact you either, through Facebook or Instagram. All right. And while you guys are putting numbers in, I was thinking I might try. If I ruin a Sharpie, I ruin a Sharpie. I just want one of those fine tip Sharpies. I was going to just try to go around the edge. I think the Sharpie's seen better days. I might switch to Posca pen. The Sharpie's just not suiting me. All right. Anybody else want to try for a postcard? Oh, and I love the Sharpie Creative Markers. If you guys haven't tried those yet, you need to get some. They are so blooming awesome. I just love them. Is that everybody? Got 21 people in here. Let's see. Random sequence. I think I have everybody that's put numbers in. I think I have most of y'all's addresses. All right, I'm going to do a 10 down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Ruth got in just in the nick of time. Oh, that sounds like fun. All right. I am going to do more to these. Random sequence. So 1 through 100, get our sequence. All right, so the first number is 80, 16, 92, and 20. So I would say the closest to the 92 would be Barbara Clark. She's at 82. And then the closest to 80 without going over is Ruth with her 66. And then we got 16. Who's closest to 16? Awkward Quilter. And I think I still have your address from when you sent me that package up here for the little quilt pieces. And then the last number is 20. So let's see, 20. Janet went over. So Lala, is that right? Lala with 13. And Aqua Quilter had 15. Okay, there you go. Woohoo! Now we can play with the paint pens for a few minutes. I'm going to stay on until 2:30, and then that'll give everybody a break for like 30 minutes before the next person comes on. Who all comes on Wednesday afternoon? I know some of the quilter groups, you gals come on some days, and then we've got Devin Rex, Yolande. She comes on to do gel plate printing at 3. Is that right? Devin is at 3. I haven't heard from Shannon Art Junkie in a while, so I don't know what's going on with her, but she was doing a Wednesday time slot as well. Yeah, Art Junkie. Yeah, I haven't heard from her in a while. And Shannon does crochet, and she does art journaling and card making. And because I just do a whole lot of everything, that's why I have such a variety of people that watch me. I do have 13 more dresses cut out for Project Dress a Girl. I need to start working on my promotional video for that I have to have ready. Oh, is Carol here? Hi, Carol. She's recovering. Okay, thank you, Carol. Carol, when are you coming on again? Carol does all kinds of things too. She does stitching and art. I noticed she's been doing some 3D printing. Trying to think of what else. And I watch people that cook, and I watch some political videos, and I watch homesteading videos. So I'm just like all over the place. Been watching a young couple up in North Carolina. They're doing an addition to a single wide mobile home, and they've put a big deck on, and they're added a room. They have 4 boys and 2 little girls, and they're living in like 1,000 square feet, single wide mobile home right now. So they have added 2 rooms off the house, I guess a bedroom for the little girls and a pantry for mama. And they have covered the new room, and the rest of it is all porch, so they can sit outside even when it's raining. And they're bringing the roof up over their single wide mobile home, but they had to create a wall basically outside the mobile home because they can't attach that heavy roof to the existing mobile home without having a structural engineer come in. So they were given permission to just build a wall that's, on its own. It's got its own foundations bits. They put concrete down and then they put the wall up. So now they're putting the roof over the top of the original single wide mobile home, which they completely gutted it. And it was completely gutted. Even took the wall. They rebuilt the whole thing. It's been pretty interesting to watch them. If we were younger, we would do that kind of thing, but we're having to come to the conclusion that we still try to do that stuff, but we're a whole lot slower, and we might die before we got done doing a mobile home remodel or even an older house. Yeah, and their little girls are babies under 5, and the boys are teenagers. So they've got this huge age gap. They had 4 boys when they moved to North Carolina from California. And then when they got to North Carolina, they started having more babies, and they've had nothing but girls so far. So 2 little girls. I don't know if they're planning more or if, that's their business. It's just fun to watch them. And they do some gardening and butchering and that kind of thing. It's a homesteading channel. So if that kind of thing, offends you, I wouldn't go over. So that's them outlined. And now what I'm thinking is I think I want to add another border, but use a ruler. And let me see, get these out of my way a little bit, because I don't want to, and I've never done this with a Posca pen, so we'll see what luck I have. Stop there. I did a short, and I'm not going to say who won, but one of the videos from July that had the most comments, I put everybody's name that had left a comment on the video with the most comments, and I drew a name, and somebody has won the Christmas stocking. And I'm going to mail that out in a bit. And I think I might leave the border just on 2 sides to fill in that space. I don't know. I'm going to set them aside and think about it a minute. I do kind of like the way that looks. So some lucky winner's going to get the homemade Christmas stocking. Maybe some other things in the stocking. Since I'd forgotten to do it, I almost thought, I could wait and do it closer to Christmas and make it like an advent calendar. I can't see the end. There we go. I do kind of like the borders just on 2 sides because of the added space I'm trying to use up. Wish I had a clear ruler so I could see. I finished watching The Ghost Whisperer on Pluto TV. So I'm all done with that one. And of course, the first thing they sent me to watch next was Charmed, and I've already watched that. So Not interested in watching it again. So, what else? Not much. Found out that my brother-in-law is planning to take his mother to her doctor's appointment, which I'm really thrilled about it because I know they just spent like under $500 to get her van. Something was going on. Remember I told you all about us going to pick my brother-in-law up from the hospital when he had his heart catheterization last time, and we were almost to the hospital and the van just shut down. As I was driving, everything turned off. Freaked me out. But I thought quickly, and I was in the turn lane, and I put it in park, and I hit the ignition again, and thankfully it came back on. But it needed some parts. But the thing is over 20 years old. So might even be over 25 years old. But I do like putting the border on like that. It adds an added kind of dimension to it. So now what I could do is come in. I wish I had. I need to order some more Posca pens. I was thinking, is this dry? Can I just do? For anybody that's watching that knows me from other parts of real life and stuff, welcome. This is what I do for fun. I did share it just to my Facebook channel, Facebook group, Facebook page, blah, blah. I'll get it spat out at once. But I do YouTube for fun, especially these days. I think I've ruined another Posca pen. We'll see. So is anybody else watching some good series like on Pluto or Netflix? Because I've seen most of the things I usually watch on YouTube. It's just the same stuff. Nothing much new on there. Same old beep. Scott watches a channel called Cold War Motors. And they got an old guy on there and he says, same old shit. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think the paint, once the paint dries a little bit more, it'll be easier to doodle on it. Oh, Joyce, that sounds like fun. Is it a new movie? Because Scott was just asking me if Downton Abbey was coming out with something new yesterday. And he and I went to see, that last movie they did when we lived in Greenville. That's a series that Scott enjoyed even. He just liked all the period, the period drama and all. Is this wet? Oh, that tip is messed up. A new last movie. That's how I thought the last one was the last one. Looking for the red. I think we'd have to go over by my sister to see it. We don't have a movie theater on this side of town anymore at all. Oops. We used to have just a small little theater. It was called the Gamecock Theater for the Carolina, because USC, Carolina Gamecocks, is just across the river. And we used to have a little theater. It had like two screens is all. But we used to take Greg there when he was real little. In fact, when he was not even 2 years old, we went to see Crocodile Dundee and the Gamecock. But they've been gone a long time. So I will be able to hang out tomorrow for Craft and Chat. And I can open the room at 10. But Friday at 10, I have to take my mother-in-law to get her hair done. And I don't even know where I'm going. So hopefully she'll remember where we need to go. Could be dicey. We'll see. So you can see I'm just going to keep playing and pulling out some of my shapes. Just kind of bring them to the front a little bit. Might just do just part of this one. That one's a ketchup and mustard circle. At least that's what it looks like. There was a bad wreck out on the I-26, I-77, kind of where they meet up onto the I-77 part, not far from us, yesterday. It looked like one of those white panel work trucks had just not been paying attention and flipped. You put your painting outside to dry. Cool. So this is what I've come up with. I might turn them so they're all different ways here. And I might keep doodling or I might let them go. We'll see. All right. So I've got everybody's name down that won a postcard. I don't know which one each person will get. I'll just turn them over and address them. All right. So thank you guys for hanging with me. It's now 2:30 and Devin will be on in 30 minutes. So she's saying, let's see, goodbye summer, hello fall. She's doing fall. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.